are we going to see one day one of these back again, the woolly mammoth in the 21st century? Well, that's exactly what scientists say they are going to be able to do in around about 2 years from now. A team from Harvard is using gene editing to insert key traits of the mammoth into its nearest living relative, an Asian elephant, to create a hybrid embryo. What an achievement that would be. Thing is, should it be done? Well, to discuss this, I'm joined by Tom Ireland, who's editor of The Biologist. Tom, thanks very much for joining us. Extraordinary what science can do.
Yeah, I mean, the techniques being used to create the embryos are all fairly standard procedures in genetic research right now. What is unprecedented is using them on a large, endangered animal like the Asian elephant. And making so many changes to the animal's genome that it effectively becomes a different species.
Right, the scientific sort of argument for that is this could help to preserve the Asian elephant, and that must be something we would all applaud, isn't it?
Well, I mean, if this thing ever was born, and it seems quite far-fetched to me anyway, it's not going to be an Asian elephant, it's going to be a sort of hybrid that we've created, and I think it's probably better to try and conserve the Asian elephant as it is and conserve the habitats where the Asian elephant lives.
Right. I mean, but what's your fundamental problem with the idea of doing it? Because it would be extraordinary. I think we would recognise that. An amazing scientific achievement. Is the point that you really don't see to what end?
Yeah, I mean, I have all sorts of concerns, and I think other biologists do as well. But firstly, I just don't think the researchers' reasons for doing it are convincing enough. You know, they say it's about helping to save the Asian elephant. These things won't be Asian elephants. Then there are some other reasons about combating climate change by having huge herds of mammoths keeping permafrost frozen, which seems pretty tenuous and far-fetched to me for such a controversial project.
Right, but is it, as far as some would say, just, I think you've said actually, aimless tinkering? These are odd biological chimera's. I mean, there is real scientific research going on and breakthroughs being made, surely.
Yeah, I mean, what concerns me is that people are just starting to understand why gene modification and gene editing is so important. You know, in basic research, for creating drought-resistant crops, for helping people with genetic diseases. And so this kind of wacky procedure could set that progress back and return us to a time where, you know, there were lots of people campaigning against genetic modification. You know, this could eventually become a big, lonely orange symbol for those who don't like the idea of using GM.
Well, they reckon, Tom, it's going to be about 2 years from now that they might be able to achieve it. I suspect you have your doubts about that, but either way, if it is 2 years, come back and talk to us again. Tom Ireland, for now, we're going to have to leave it. Thanks very much indeed. And, of course, if you want more on that story, go to the website. It's an extraordinary story, whichever way you view it. That is...